In the headlines, a homeowners orientation for the first 90 families under government's housing recovery program, a new bridge to provide safer access during disasters for residents of Sibuli in Point Michelle, and 91 laptops provided for secondary school and college students in the Roseau Central constituency. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Avec Flow, animé on top up, sign up, quittez yo, every video join Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, the first 90 beneficiaries of government's housing recovery program received their first homeowners orientation on Friday. Julian Morris has that story.
The housing recovery program, which received financial support from the World Bank, forms part of government's overall efforts to provide secure housing for those who lost their homes during Hurricane Maria. Project manager of the Project Implementation Unit of the Housing Recovery Program, Nicholas Bruno, says the beneficiaries had to meet several criteria to be approved for this program.
The house must be 500 square feet or less. The house must have been completely destroyed by Hurricane Maria. It must not be located in a hazard risk area, so in other words, it must be in a low hazard area. The applicant must have been residing in the house prior to the disaster and is currently a resident of Dominica. The home was uninsured and the applicant had not received direct reconstruction structural support from one of the other government programs or our donor agencies in excess of $10,000.
Housing Minister Reginald Austrie says this housing project is different from government's past housing programs in that the beneficiaries will have full control of the financing of the project.
When that check will be placed in your name at the financial institution, and with the tight level of supervision under that project, you will be able to sign your check when the supervisors or whoever says that you can. You also have the opportunity to select your own contractor. You go to the community and you choose your contractor you want to be your home. Of course, you will choose from a list of certified contractors as approved by the Housing Division and the PIU. And you'll also be free to purchase and prepare material wherever you choose to do it. That is why this program is so different from the other programs.
Prime Minister Skerrit says Dominica has a good working relationship with the World Bank, which allowed them to negotiate the best deal under this housing recovery program.
And so the original document indicated we could only spend up to $50,000 per beneficiary. We said to the World Bank that would not be enough to build a house. And so they increased it on our request to $125,000. We said to them the 300 square feet might be a little bit too tight for people, we need to increase it. And they agreed and increased it from 300 square feet to 500 square feet. When we saw the application, application and the people who apply based on the criteria whether you receive assistance from the government or not, if we are to keep it with the criteria that you will have received no help from the government, we will have a very, very few people benefiting. And we said to them, let us increase it from zero contribution to people who receive no more than $10,000 from the government.
In more top stories, 91 laptops have been gifted to secondary school and college level students in the Roseau Central constituency. The laptops from Member of Parliament for the Roseau Central constituency, Melissa Scarrett. During a ceremony on Thursday, Mrs. Scarrett informed the students that government is committed to ensuring their education despite the changes made due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The current COVID-19 pandemic has thrust our country into a new era, what we now call the new normal. The Ministry of Education has been able to make immediate and important changes, such as providing online classes to ensure that our children do not fall behind in their educational development. As your parliamentary representative, recognizing that some had no devices, and with the support of our political leader and the Labour Party, my husband, we decided to close the divide by sourcing laptops for children in the Roseau Central constituency.
The Roseau Central MP encouraged parents to be involved in their children's education.
Parents, please monitor your children's use of the laptop. Examine the history of the websites your children are visiting. Ask questions. Discuss online safety and always be alert. The Dominican Labour Party has created access to education and educational opportunities in this country, which is the envy of other countries in the Caribbean. And to my dear parents, continue to show the interest in your educational development for your children. Attend their PTA meetings. Know of your child's teachers. Sit at the table while they do their homework. Give them love and affection, and protect them.
On to health matters. The Ministry of Health has issued requirements for visitors to Dominica from countries within the CARICOM travel bubble. National epidemiologist Dr. Sharuddin Ahmed says it is a fluid situation as far as the countries in the travel bubble are concerned, in that these countries are expected to change every week.
With respect to countries within the CARICOM bubble, the requirements from each of those passengers or travelers coming to Dominica required following: risk assessment prior to and on entry, that is the health risk assessment that is done online; rapid test upon arrival. If rapid test is negative, the traveler can proceed to immigration, baggage claim and customs and permitted to leave the airport after clearance. If rapid test is positive, the traveler will proceed to the secondary screening where a PCR test will be done and await the results in a government-approved facility at the traveler's cost. Now, if PCR test is negative, then the traveler is discharged from the quarantine. And if you test positive on PCR, you are transferred to COVID isolation unit until deemed medically cleared by the health officials.
For passengers coming from low-risk countries, the requirements are as follows.
A negative PCR result that is obtained within 24 to 72 hours prior to arrival. The health risk assessment prior to and on entry. Rapid test upon arrival. If rapid test is negative, again, the traveler can proceed to the immigration and baggage claim and customs and permitted to leave the airport after clearance. Travelers will be monitored for 7 days at their place of residence. If rapid test is positive, the traveler will proceed to secondary screening area where a PCR test will be done and await the results in a government-approved facility. If PCR test is negative, then traveler is discharged from quarantine. And if PCR test is positive, then you are transferred to a COVID isolation unit and until the deemed medically cleared by the health officials. So that's a low risk travelers.
Medium risk travelers are required to do the PCR test before entering the country. One must have a negative PCR test result that was taken within 24 to 72 hours prior to arrival. One must also have notification of the health risk assessment.
On arrival, they will be tested using the rapid test kit, and if rapid test is negative, again travelers are allowed to leave the airport. And if rapid test, and those travelers will be monitored for 14 days at their place of residence. Optional to 14-day monitoring, a PCR test can be done on day 5. If the result is negative, then there will be no further monitoring at place of residence. And if you test positive, then you will be transferred to the COVID isolation unit.
These are the requirements for travelers coming from high-risk countries.
Risk assessment prior to and on entry. A negative PCR result that was taken, meaning swab was taken within 24 to 72 hours prior to the arrival. A rapid diagnostic test will be administered on arrival. If the rapid test is positive, a PCR test will be administered immediately, and traveler will await the results in a government-approved facility. And if rapid test is negative, then traveler will be transported to a mandatory quarantine at a government-operated quarantine facility or government-certified private property for a minimum of 5 days at traveler's expense. A PCR test will then be administered to the traveler on day 5 after arrival. And individuals will be deemed medically cleared after PCR negative test on day 5 at the discretion of the health officials.
In other news, major football action taking place this weekend on Flow Evo's Channel 105 and ESPN. Ferdinand Frampton of Cable and Wireless Flow Dominica has the details, which sports enthusiasts, particularly football lovers, should find exciting.
We want to tell you first about the FA Community Shield Finals, and that is what they refer to as the curtain raiser for the upcoming Premier League, which I understand is scheduled to begin on the 12th of September. So the FA Community Shield Finals takes place tomorrow, Saturday, between FA Cup winners Arsenal and Premier League champions Liverpool, and it all happens on Flow Evo ESPN channel 210 from 11:30 a.m. So again, the FA Community Shield Finals between FA Cup winners Arsenal and Premier League champions Liverpool, that takes place on ESPN channel 210 from 11:30 tomorrow, and that's on Saturday. We also have some football action, some local football action. The Premier League live coverage will happen on Flow Evo channel 105, so look out for that as well. On Saturday, we have Promex Harlem versus Exodus from 2 p.m. and later in the afternoon from 4, we have LA Enterprise Bombers versus Belfast Estate Maho FC. The games continue on Sunday, where we have CCCUL Dublin SC versus East Central from 2 p.m. and Happy Bath Estate versus Petrocari Point Michel from 4 p.m. So catch all the football action this weekend on Flow Evo. Again, the FA Community Shield Finals between FA Cup winners Arsenal and Premier League champions Liverpool on channel 210, which is ESPN, from 11:30, and the local football action will be held on both Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. on channel 105 Flow Evo.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Giving away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
plan or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Welcome back. The replacement of a bridge lost during Hurricane Maria means improved access for some homeowners of Sibuli, Point Michelle.
Parliamentary Representative Denise Charles addressed Thursday's commissioning of the 35,000 AC dollar bridge.
Imagine my joy when Mr. Faswa, on behalf of the Men's Ministry, approached me to say, Parrep, that we are willing to take up this project with your support. If you provide the materials, we already have collaboration with Mr. Renault from another ministry, and the village council also offered to give some support. We can make it happen. I was very pleased because that is the kind of support and leadership I am seeking in the community. In order to be effective as a parrep, I need support. So when the church, especially the parish priest here, calls me and say he wants to do a project, any way I can support him to achieve that for the benefit of my people, I am all in. But if you have to wait for the parrep to do everything, some things cannot happen. They're going to take time. So I really want to congratulate Abundant Life Ministry who have put their efforts, and the men of that ministry who I saw working on that project. And Mr. Ozzy to say, we have to continue to give him a round of applause for his determination and commitment. He was not worried about money. He was worried about providing security and safety for the residents of Sibuli in particular. And we have to continue to recognize and uphold our strong people in the community that provide excellent community service. It's also an act of love because the church is not just here to preach to the people. It's here to build the people. And I see that as a symbol from Abundant Life Ministry. They are truly interested in every aspect of our community, not just your spiritual life. They recognize the situations, the challenges we had, and they stepped up.
In related news, Senior Pastor of the Abundant Life Fellowship and Deliverance Ministries, Chad Prince, says the work of the church goes beyond the Great Commission.
A gentleman once said, and I quote, "I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. I'd rather one would walk with me than just merely show the way." We believe at Abundant Life that the Lord himself showed us many examples of touching and impacting lives, meeting people's needs through preaching the gospel, as we and we seek to follow in his steps. Today we celebrate yet another great achievement through this small but significant project before us. You have already heard the details of how this came about and how we were able to accomplish the task. Bridges, particularly like this, are significant in the lives of people and in many communities. It is a way of bonding. It is a way of facilitating access from one place to another. it enhances trade, it enhances communication. In our local case, a safer way to cross from this lower area to the other side during the overflow of the ravine. It is our hope that this bridge will be a symbol of unity, a symbol of community participation, demonstration that even greater things can be achieved if we work together.
The bridge will provide easier access during flooding of the ravine, which occurs during heavy rain.
We have already witnessed the appreciation of the project by the community in the way that the people began to utilize it even before work, even while work was in progress. Although we kept warning of the risks involved, the people insisted that that's where they wanted to pass. They were already indicating that they couldn't wait for the bridge to be completed. As the chairperson of the chairman of the, or leader of the Abandoned Life Fellowship Benz Ministry indicated, that this bridge that you see before you, an engineer from the Ministry of Works has given full proof by his report that this bridge is safe.
The Point Michel Village Council collaborated with the church and the parliamentary representative to execute the project.
While working in the community, I came across some material that would be of great use in the reconstruction of the bridge. I spoke to Melvina Boye about it and was told that it belonged to Trinidadians. I told her to follow up with them and see if we could get some of the materials. She came back with ecstatic news telling me that they said yes. Shortly after, Mr. Francois came to speak with me re a project the church wanted to work on in the community. And so the reconstruction of the bridge came to mind. But I thought it was too much of a big project. We spoke. Eventually, I told him about the bridge. He said, okay, I'm going to speak to my church members. And so he did. Lo and behold, Mr. Francois came back with great news that the church will take on this project. I was overjoyed. I told him, speak to the PAL rep, and I will speak to her as well, because I'm so grateful that the church said yes. Shortly after, the construction of the bridge began. And here is a result of hard work and a community coming together. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope Point Michel will never ever forget what has just happened to our community. The bridge, in my opinion, is a significant project, and so we welcome this necessary project. Just to throw it out there, there is another bridge to be built in the area of Buidon. So Point Michel people, let's put all hands together and let us see what more we can do together.
And a call for greater unity among institutions which seek to help the disabled community. Julian Morris tells us more.
The call from Executive Director of the Achievement Learning Center, Beverly LeBlanc. The Achievement Learning Center, which catered to 22 special needs students and 8 staff, faced premature closure earlier this year as the institution could not meet the financial cost to keep operating at the building which it was renting. Talks are already underway with the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities to develop a stronger relationship, but LeBlanc believes more can be done on an island-wide level to assist the disabled community.
We are already strengthening our collaboration with the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, and this is something I've always wanted because the resources are so limited and we are small trying to compete from the same pool. And then, but if we all work with children with disabilities, although we offer very services and we may have different focus, but at the end of the day, we have the same clients in terms of what we offer. So I'm hoping that we can use that opportunity to reevaluate ourselves as different organizations and see more interagency collaboration among the organizations that offer services for persons with disabilities.
While work is ongoing to develop interagency collaboration among institutions on island, foreign organizations are also lending assistance to the special needs community.
Right now, we have an organization which has reached out to us to offer packages, and we've also got funding from UNICEF. So we will have not only Achieve Melanin Center is going to be getting the packages, we are also going to be offering the packages to other persons with disabilities, and this we will do as we collaborate with the Ministry of Youth Development and Disabilities. So this is what I'm telling, is like we strengthen our network and building our capacity, and then we do that by working in collaboration, because we can't do it by ourselves.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
With Flow, when I bag our money, cash out. Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. A homeowners orientation for the first 90 families under government's housing recovery program. A new bridge to provide safer access for residents of Sibului in Point Michel. And 91 laptops provided for secondary school and college students in the Roseau Central constituency. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis. And to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.